Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slippy and Thrifty Show. I'm your host, Thrifty. My wonderful friends here today. Say hello to them, please. Everyone,
Hello.
say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Hello,
Hello.
Governor.
Hello, Governor. God blimey, Mary Poppins.
Hmm. But we have Chris here for the first time, aka Blade Lord, aka Absolute Unit, aka
Christine.
Slippy Stepmom. Stepdad.
Boy, just slip there, I feel, John.
Fucked that all up, didn't I? Good job.
Yeah, you done messed that all
And
up.
cancel.
Unsibbed.
Yeah, Slippy's stepdad is here today. How's Slippy's mom doing, Chris?
She come from the closet back there.
You got to change her up like Leia.
There, a little better, more enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we also have Mikey with us. How are you this week, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
Are you going to tell us about your travels today?
What, my very recent travels?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't me that did like the travelling, it was the other two long-distance travellers that came to me.
Well, you went to Bakewell. Right?
I go to Bakewell quite a lot, as most people know.
Yeah, multiple times in the same day as well.
Right. And Matt, you too went traveling.
Yes.
Was there any
was there any
interaction
what?
between you and the other traveler?
Oh, yes.
You did touch tips, huh?
No, it was fantastic. It was actually quite weirdly educational because of the two museum things we went to.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was because I didn't realize how thick the battle armor was on those ships.
Oh,
When I say thick, it's
I thought you were going to say how thick Mikey was. Man, that was
Everyone knows that.
Mikey's thin.
Okay.
Thick
Suck it in, Mikey.
up here.
Okay.
But
Thick down here. Thick down here.
no, it was excellent. It was. I don't think we stopped laughing the entire time.
Right. Who else was with you?
We had the naked of Sean.
Was he naked?
No, he was very
Some of the
close
time.
because it was
Some of
minus
the time.
7.
It was -7.
The most naked one was actually Slippy because he doesn't own trousers.
And so I assume he was wearing the shorts.
The shorts were out, the knees were out. He looked cold at some points. We had to hug him just to keep him alive.
There was no threat of anything peeking below the shorts, though, as cold as it was there?
No,
No.
it all zoomed back up inside. There was nothing exposed.
Zoomed? So it did it rather violently?
Yeah, it was just like when I went zoop. Like it was like it was like a very quick sex change.
And may I add, not for the first time.
How are you doing today, Chris? What have you been up to this week?
Not a whole lot. Just working.
Did you peruse the internet with anyone this week?
Peruse the internet?
You know, like maybe you had a conference call or face-to-face meeting.
Yeah, a few times.
Couple of face-to-face meetings. Okay. Well, we want to give a shout out to Chris's lady friend. We're very happy that he's met someone new, and we're very, very happy for him. So, yeah, a little bit of
romance.
Good job, Chris.
No romance, just buy more knives.
Yep, you're going to buy less knives now. You know that, right?
Knife buying's over.
Yeah, those lady friends are expensive. Stuart McCrae asks, did you invite Chris in just so you could look at his beard for an hour or so?
Jealousy.
How is the beard coming along? Let's have a look.
Very
How's the
slowly.
beard coming along?
There it comes. Very slowly.
He's starting to look like homeless now, isn't he?
Yeah. Look like I live in a cardboard box. Will be. Probably until next week. But someone celebrated a birthday this week. Going to give a shout out to someone's dad. Who was it?
What now?
Someone's dad had a birthday this week, and it was Blue Collar Pocket Knives.
Oh.
So happy birthday to Blue Collar Pocket Knives' dad, Cherek's dad. Happy birthday, Dad. But somebody had a birthday yesterday. Who was it?
Wasn't me. Chris?
Somebody turned like 90.
Oh, was it John?
This one.
Oh.
And someone is in a possession of a birthday gift. Would you be so kind as to pull that out and show what these lovely human beings have?
Apologies if you could hear Buster. He's kicking off at something.
Oh, don't worry, but I don't hear him.
We got you a genuine Sheffield paper bag.
Brown paper bag.
Fantastic. And what is in said bag? Nothing. A receipt.
It's a plastic bag. That's your clue to what you might have. What would come in a plastic bag like this?
I don't know. Would it be
drugs?
No, it wasn't drugs. I don't buy him drugs.
Would it be a TO3 transistor?
No.
It's not one of these.
No.
Is it a case knife stand?
No, funnily enough, no, it's not a case knife stand, but you could use a knife stand for it.
Is it an empty tube?
There's many empty tubes in the chat, and they make a lot of noise, but never mind.
Mike McLaughlin's comment is probably the closest.
Homemade comment.
I would say it's probably even better than that wonderful present.
Right. Excuse me.
It is It's an Arthur Wright senator with ebony scales and a little bit of work back.
All I can do.
Why are you in possession of it, seeing as I'm going to be sending a box to John?
Thank you, guys.
Because my acid sweat will not ink fingerprints into the carbon steel blade.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that you could be from another planet, and that if we did cut you open, you'd probably eat through the floor.
Probably.
So yes, this is a gift from quite a few people on the Discord, and we hope you like it, John.
I just want to say thank you to all those who participated in making that happen.
It was chosen with much love.
Yes.
Don't forget to wipe the fingerprints off of it.
And then quickly snatched out of my hand.
Well, apparently I had been whinging, as you
only mentioned it about 8,000 times about Senator.
I didn't realize I had mentioned that many times.
We almost know you like a Senator as much as Chris likes a bunny knife. Almost.
Who said Chris likes a bunny knife? That's news to me.
I've never said it.
Where's the bunny knife? Surely you have it right there. There it is. He loves that thing.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All the bunnies have come out. Oh, you just got the box, Mike. Okay.
No, there's one in there, but I've cleaned it and polished it, and it's on its and this is almost going to be on its way to 2010 sheds.
Okay.
Yep, to the 10 sheds.
Well, it's that time, fellas. You want to help us with the logo sound? Mikey, you're the official new Knife News audio man.
Press the button, John.
Go ahead.
John, press the button.
You don't want to you don't want to do it.
John, press the button. That was me. You are welcome.
Wow. You've improved. Knife news. We've got new USA Queen knives from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I don't know how new these are, honestly. First time I saw them, so they're new to me. Burnt Staghorn.
I've seen the lockback, but I've not seen the Barlow before. The Barlow looks really good.
$86 though.
What steel are they using?
That's carbon.
Carbon.
It'd be $10.95.
$10.95. Yeah.
Okay.
And also the Burnt Stag lockback with the etching on the blade. That's
horrible.
Always prevalent with Queen Cutler. So 99 for that. 86
I know Bear & Sons OEM in their knives. They could have just changed it a bit rather than just putting Queen on their own Barlow.
I thought it looked familiar.
If they were to produce like an original knife just for the Queen line, might have probably doubled the price, I would imagine. Right? At least we get a fairly new introduction in the Barlow, right? Because I don't think they've made that for very long.
No, the Barlow is pretty new. What was it, about a year?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
So at least there's that. Right. So there you go. A couple from Queen. All right. So also cool one here. I thought this one was pretty nice. $165 for the buck of the month, January 2025.
That's lovely.
This is an exclusive
me and Mikey
buck.
actually spoke about this the other night, didn't we, Mikey, when we were in Sheffield?
Yeah, a bare head 110.
It looks so good.
Rich light handles, S35VN blade. Comes complete with a distressed brown leather sheath. Expertly built for the 2025 buck of the month program. Handcrafted in Post Falls, Idaho. 750 made. So that's
not a bad price for that, considering some of the custom shop ones are about that price anyway.
Yeah, and usually when they put rich light on anything, I've just kind of noticed that the price is pretty dramatic, but not this particular one. I guess they don't have that grooving in it that they had before, but
only 750 pieces.
So fairly limited.
It says rich light is machine textured.
Yeah, it doesn't look so much textured on the picture.
No.
I don't know.
It does look
it
good.
Looks like flat.
All right, and here's a new one, and this isn't going to be out for a while, but Benchmade released their catalog and they revealed the 315 slip joint. And they say it's coming in October 25. A little over 2.5-inch blade and supposed to have Magna Cut, they think. And it includes a clipped slip.
Does it cost $1,000?
No, it's more than that.
We don't know the price.
I don't like it.
Looks very modern, doesn't it? Very modern compared to their last slip joint.
Right. So there you have that. Just a
Thanks,
little
Benchmade, for trying, but
failure.
Randy Speeds. You can still get these. You need to contact Slippy Sawyer or Tony in Wales, Blades in Wales.
The best way to do this, if you all come to me and I'll pass it on to Tony rather than Tony getting a load of messages, because I can just correlate all the information onto one message for Tony.
We couldn't just spam Tony because that would be really funny.
Okay, yeah, just spam Tony in Discord.
This is a great way to remember Randy. Both very iconic little images from Randy, and just $5 each. So great way to take advantage of a sale. RDS is offering these at a special price just because of Randy, and
about half price, I think they are.
That's a great price. It really is for those beads.
Do you have one you could show us? Not necessarily one of these, but one that's the same size, at least. Kind of give an idea
of those
scale of it.
Let me just zoom over a bit.
We're waiting.
I have the whalish one here.
There you go. So there's an idea. They're about an inch long, then I imagine.
Yeah, about that. I can actually I can measure it for you and show you. They are
a little under an inch.
They give or take about an inch.
Okay. So thank you for that. So yeah, get over and get those ordered up. How do we get back to the full screen on this, because it's not really on the thing? Okay, yeah, just click on that. That'll work. All right. Next up, our raffle is still active. If you want to get entered and you haven't already, I want to thank everybody who's already entered, but we're having a lot of success with this. But still a fantastic number of knives. I think that list is actually higher than the 15 he's got there now. I think it might be up to 16.
Yeah, we're up to 16 now. Dan at Bladebridge did a custom Swiss Army knife, which I did add on to the slides earlier on, so you will see that. It's the most randy knife I could possibly get. It's got a really nice etched blade. We'll show you that in a second, and I'll go through it.
All right. If somebody could, in the mods, could pop up that, the spreadsheet information.
Yeah, I think Holden, she's been put them in there a couple of times. Holden, chuck it in there again. There we go. Holden's just put it in.
So if you go to that link, it will show you everything you need to know to enter, and also all the knives that are going to be available to win. And we're going to be holding that drawing next week. So make sure you're here live to know whether or not you won, so that we can contact you, and you know that we know that you know that you've won. And if you do provide an entry at some point, please include your address as well, just to make it easier, so that we have the ability to contact you, or at least ship the prize to you, even if you don't know it's coming. But we've got some great response to this. Again, the entries are £10 and then $13. So not $10, $13 if you want to enter. Okay, don't make that mistake.
And so anyone in the EU and UK, you can send the funds to me. My email address there, slipjointstore@gmail.com, and to stop any sort of charge you would get if you're in the US and you had to PayPal me, there's a PayPal fee to make the transfer. So if you PayPal that directly to John, he'll then contact me and we'll add you to the spreadsheet.
Right.
And you'll be sort of assigned one of the remaining numbers.
All right, but a quick look at some of the knives you can win. I'm just kind of run through these. This is the Victorinox Winter Magic 23. You got an Arthur Wright & Son. You want to tell me more about that one, Matt?
Yeah, that's an Ashley Harrison custom. It's in Snakewood 01 tool steel spear point blade.
Okay.
Works back spring.
This one on the top left from our man here, Chris. This is the Shatton Morgan Congress 4-blade. You got that one on hand, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Let's see it real quick. There's that beauty from GEC.
That jigging is fantastic on the front.
That didn't get you to enter. I don't know what will. We've got a gun stock from Patty.
I have that if you want to see that in person.
100%.
And this gun stock is so good. I'm actually gonna get Ashley to make some more of them.
Oh, that looks awesome
on that. Mirror polish, work back spring. And this is, it's about, I'm pretty sure it's 3.5 closed. It is, bang on 3.5 inches closed. Mirror polished 01 tool steel blade.
Okay. And then we've got one from Sean, another custom, I believe.
Which I have here as well.
Oh, you have that? Oh, okay. Great.
Yep. So this is a slightly longer, so it's more like a Barlow than a Jack, but not quite. It's got a spalted beach, I think it is, worked back spring, 01 tool steel spear, and then Mrs. Naked Sean actually made a coffin slip to come with it.
Right.
So
I know, there's been a number of people that have been like, "Oh, I got to get an Ashley custom." Well, there's 2 in this drawing. 2 of them.
No, there's 3.
3 of them.
3 of them. 3 of them. So your chances to get one are phenomenal. So make sure you're entering this. This is probably the best. I mean, this is the best any kind of giveaway I've ever seen on traditional knife channel for sure.
Definitely.
Right? It's an amazing giveaway. It's fantastic.
Okay, so we also
don't have the Dan.
Oh, you don't have that one. Okay,
it's on its way, but it is a climber.
Right.
It's got.
Can you pull up that photo so we can look at it a little larger on your phone, perhaps? If you need a minute, I can give you a second or two. I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a Midnight Manager and a sharpener combination. That's a prize. And that's going to be from Mark. If you're not familiar, the Midnight Manager has a little light on it, which is really handy, a little LED light. And the combi tool, 58mm size, the blade, the scissors, the smaller file and screwdriver combination. And this sharpener is really good. One of his, in fact, I think one of his videos, one of his most popular videos was of this. So I know a lot of people enjoy that little sharpener. So that was a really good prize. And then from our lovely man here in the chat, well, let's look at the Dan there while you've got it. Okay, so there's the Dan custom from Blade Bridge.
It's like fluorescent yellow liners. This is a terrible picture, but fluorescent yellow liners. It's brand new black scales. It's got the blade is actually laser engraved. It's just not going to show.
Yeah, it's not showing up, but yeah.
It's got a bear laser engraved on the blade. Comes with a lanyard. It comes in a Dan tin as well. It's a full sort of package deal for that one. There's a lot of stuff for that, but it's phenomenal work Dan does.
Right. Okay. And then we have from our man here in the room in the chat, we've got the Buck 110. What is it? The LT? Help me with it.
Slim Select, which I have. I have both of those knives here.
Oh, you do? Okay. And then
So
the Junzi from Twisted Assisted.
The 110 Slim Select. So you get the pocket clip as well. And then you have the custom Junzi with the micarta scales, lanyard with the brass skull, and the little poker chip sort of EDC coin thing.
Can you see a closer look at the poker chip? Because it's got the nice logo on there. Yeah, it's like the skull with the gas mask.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And the nice thing about the Junzi is it's a slip joint, but you can flip it out.
That's awesome.
So, well, obviously it's not going to work every time, but you can flip it out, and it's a nice for a slip joint to be able to do that. Because I know that's one thing I like about locking knives is you can flick it, and you obviously can't with most slip joints, but you can with this, so that's great.
One-handed slip joint, not something that's that common. Okay, and then what else do we have more? Yeah, we have the French knife from Elon. What was it? The Jean something. What was it? Can't remember now.
Go on, Slippy.
Jean Paul.
Are you ready? Right. It is the Jean-Paul Tissier.
Tissier. There we go. Tissier. There we go. More. It doesn't stop there. We've got a what year is this one? 21? Champagne Cadet
19.
Victorinox. 2019 exclusive color Alox.
That is from Cherik blue collar pocket knives. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Our moderator Cherik provided that one. We have one from Zen that I actually have. Let me grab that.
Okay. While you do that, I can show the Michael May, which was sent. Okay, go on then.
All right,
go for
it. This is a standard, which I guess was made by Case, if I understand properly.
It's part of Case. I'm pretty sure he did tell me.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but Standard Knife Company, a little Stockman here, 3 blades. So thanks to Zen for providing that little cigar-shaped Stockman with the little cutout there for the spay blade.
That's fantastic.
You can just see it there. Beautiful little knife here. So another great prize.
There's a question for you there, John, on the screen.
What you got? Who is the bare-faced chappie pretending to be Kate? That is me, my friend. He's doing all he can to get the beard back. Time will.
The regret was strong.
Yes, covered.
He made a terrible mistake.
Yes, you must have missed it last week when I was
grilled.
I was grilled over a rotisserie and destroyed all last episode. Yeah. GEC
midnight. Yeah, you've got that too, haven't you?
Yeah, I want to show that one.
Tubed up though.
Yeah, this is from Sean Fleming, better known as Watch City Knives.
Watch City Knives.
Yep, and we've got this one in hand right here, the little GEC, little single-bladed trapper, small single-bladed trapper style, or Coke bottle perhaps.
That's lovely.
Nice little fit pocket knife. It comes complete with the tube. Classic pocket knife. So nice little GEC there. What else was on there?
And we have the 6.5 Bone Stag Barlow from Andrew at Baxter's Blade. So thank you very much for that, Andrew. And we also have the Michael May donated by
Midnight.
Dave over at Midnight Crisis. Nice Barlow. Nice oak covers, worked back spring. Very nice traditional Sheffield made knife.
Right. So make sure you're getting into this. This is a massive deal. And all the proceeds are going to Joy, Randy's mom. So
Every penny of it.
Every penny of it. And we're going to try to help her out as much as we can with all her expenses associated, with Randy's passing. So make sure you're helping out. And we do appreciate it. Okay, so I think that takes care of knife news. Yeah, that was the last slide. Yep, we're done. Okay, so thank you guys. Our topic this week is the difference between premium and budget knives. And it kind of is hard to just put in a title what I really mean by all of that. It's not just like comparing them directly, but also like where's our limit for the expensive knives? Where does the diminishing returns start to begin? What is kind of our ceiling for the price of the premium knives? We'll start with you, Matt. What do you feel like is like the most that you really want to pay for a knife?
The most I've ever paid for a knife was when I did buy a Jack Wolf Javelina, and that was about 300, but that was way over my budget or my top sort of limit I wanted to pay. Since then, I've not spent anywhere near that much on a individual knife. My next most expensive, I would say, is probably the number 15 GEC that I bought recently. That was 175, but I did trade knives for it and only ended up paying 30 for it. But in terms of money, that's probably 150 to 175 is the most I'd really want to spend on a knife. I wouldn't want to really spend any more than that. But that's just how I feel about my sort of budget. But from when I first started collecting, it's gone up a lot. I know that's the same with most people. When you collect, you're like, oh, I'm not going to spend more than 30, not going to spend more than 50, so forth. But average price I pay for a knife, because I'm doing more Sheffield stuff and older stuff, it's between that sort of 30 to 50 mark really is my average sort of spend on an individual knife. But 175 I would say is probably my top just to spend on a knife at the moment.
Okay. All right. What about you, Chris? What's kind of your top number?
The most I've ever spent on a knife was a custom Emerson. It was $1,250. But I'm willing to spend. It just depends on how much I like the knife, really. I mean, I'll go higher than that, but I've really got to like it. So I'd probably say my top is probably $1,500–$1,600.
Yeah. Because you're pretty selective in your collection, right? I mean, you probably have around 50 knives, something like that total?
Probably less than that.
Okay. So you're one of those that just likes to save and get something that's just like super special.
Yeah, and I'm going to use it too, so that's another consideration as well. That's just the way I am. I don't care how much it costs, I'll use it.
All right.
It's a good way to be. I like using all my stuff. It makes it more enjoyable for me as sort of the collecting the knives.
Okay, Mikey, what about you, bud?
This has changed quite a lot for me, because for the longest time I thought my Buck 110 was probably an expensive knife up until 4 or 5 years ago. The most I've spent on a fixed blade is about 440. That was the DBK knife. The most I've probably spent on a lock-in knife would either be a Spyderco or a Benchmade at around 250 to 275. And the most I've ever spent on a slip joint is probably 220. I think at the moment my sweet spot is somewhere between 150 to like 200 higher end. And as for like cheaper knives, I still like buying Rough Riders at 20 to 30 kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've kind of fallen in the range of Mikey probably the most. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I have a plans to this year buy a Sage 5, which is going to be run about $300. That's in the plans, but I bought customs that were, after shipping and everything was said and done, about $225. That's kind of been my top number so far, but I gotta pay respects to Patty, because he pretty much nailed it when he said that the longer you collect, that the more expensive knives you're willing to buy, and that's kind of been the case for me. But
it's not sort of like a big jump either. It's like a gradual.
Yeah, it's a very
gradual increase.
Yeah.
But it's not like I intend to do that all the time. That's going to be, maybe like once, twice a year, and then most of the others will be budget. So it's not like every knife I'm going to buy is going to be over $100 or something like that. I really do try to keep it under $100. And you can typically do that with most case knives. There are exceptions. But fortunately, a lot of the ones that are higher priced, I don't like. So, if you get something from a Yellow Horse or something like that, that's just really not my thing. And those might be like $140, $50. Some of the more decorative ones. And I like more of the plain Jane ones with just some nice bone handles. But I don't know that I necessarily have like a hard ceiling. I think I'm with Chris on, if I like it enough, I'd probably buy it if I could afford it, if ultimately I could afford it. But right now, with all the expenses that I have, it just isn't practical to try to go out and spend $6,000 on a knife.
No.
Just that would just destroy my entire.
Yeah, 6,000 seems a little bit much for me.
I'd be eating crackers and.
Probably get kicked out as well, wouldn't you? If
I might not be able to pay no mortgage, and it would be devastating. So yeah, there's limits.
That's why you make sure he buys the Jimmy Lau Rambo knife, so he can survive.
Oh, there you go. If I had to buy that knife, then I would have to survive, because I wouldn't have a place to live. Living in the wilderness. Good way to force the situation, right?
Yeah, at least you
question
have a cool
from
knife.
Bees. Question from Bees. We got there we go. How many knives in the collection before you instigate the 1 in, 1 out rule? Whoa. Yeah, the person that has that 1 in, 1 out rule is like Elon, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have a 1 in, 1 out rule, but I've got to a point where I think I don't really want to increase the number of knives as much. So I have sold off a lot of stuff recently, and I've got it to, I don't know how many knives are in there, but I've got 8 sets of drawers, and that's the sort of number I like to have. So it's not a 1 in and 1 out. I'll buy some and then I'll move a few on, and then I'll buy some more. But the number stays roughly the same.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you. I couldn't do 1 in, 1 out.
Yeah, I don't think I could either. Might be like one of those situations where like 12 go out, and then I'll eventually replace those 12. But it's not like, oh, I got to sell one because I bought one type thing.
Yeah, no, it's similar here. It's just like I sold a load the other week. I bought 4 over the weekend. Well, technically 5. I got a canoe as well. But then maybe 5 to 10 may leave the collection, or I might not sell any. It just depends.
Interesting point here made by BB Ant. He says you can't even get most GC below 200. Well, that's partly why I don't buy them, because I can't stand having to pay that much more over what they cost new.
Just because someone wants to make a bit of extra money. Yeah, I don't like that either.
I hate that.
I don't think personally on the 1 in, 1 out. I think we've had this conversation a few times. I think we even had it over the weekend. I just don't like those kind of limits. Really, I don't see me ever get to the stage where it's one in, one out.
No,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get Mikey to sell off some of his collection.
Which I
Just-
thought was
so
quite
just-
odd, because when he's in
just
the store
streamline.
shopping, it's buy it, buy it, buy it. But now you're saying sell it, sell it. Sell
No.
it.
Okay, right. Let me make it a bit clearer. Mikey buy traditional knives, sell modern knives.
Chris, what's
He
your
likes
take on
modern
that?
knives. He likes modern knives.
My take's a little different because generally with me, if a knife isn't getting used, I move
It
it.
goes.
Yeah, I'll give it away or trade it, something, because I just don't use it. So why keep it?
Right. Well, my kind of expectation on using a knife depends a lot on whether or not I've got something similar to it.
Mhm.
I kind of like to just designate one as a user if I have other things that are real similar to it, and then I won't use those. So it doesn't really work for me to like sell stuff that I don't use, because I have a lot of that sort of thing. Just comes with the quantity of knives that you got, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
something
I've
broke or
tried-
something, then yeah, I would maybe put that one away and then use something else or something. But
I thought I'd found Slippy some really nice Sheffield knives that started off as keepers for him and draw queens, and that lasted maybe 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and now he's used them all again, which is fine. They are tools; they are meant to be used. But that
Right.
one was really rare, like a one-off.
It was.
So it hurts you a little bit to see him use it. That's what you're saying.
No, you know what really hurts me? that as soon as I was in there and I sent him pictures of everything, I should have probably thought I won't send him pictures of the ones that I want. But I did, and he said, buy it. So
Yeah.
lesson learned.
Well, that kind of brings me to another topic. This is a little bit off topic, but I think it's worth pointing out, is that because there's kind of been this recent phenomenon where we've all been kind of trying to help each other find knives now among
Which
the
is really
community.
nice.
Which is really great, but then it
It
has
is
the
good.
downside of like sometimes it might get a little bit contentious when
We
there's
can't own them all, can we? We can't own all the
there's
knives. And if
competition
we
over.
can't own them, then perhaps one of our friends should own them, you know?
Right. But my point being, like, there's been times when there's been a knife or two where multiple people have wanted it.
Well, it's just
And-
fight then, isn't it? Fight.
Right. Scrap heap.
Scrap it.
Yeah.
Scrap it out in the yard.
We'll just go after it. But
Just want
for
to
the
give a
most part,
quick shout out to Gadget Gus. He's just messaged in the chat, said he's gonna put a knife up for the raffle as well for Randy, so we will be up
Oh,
to
thank you,
70.
Gus. That's
thank you
awesome.
guys. Appreciate it.
I have put my email in the chat, Gus, so we can sort of just communicate back and forth. But I know you're not in the Discord, and that's probably the easiest way. So just drop me an email. That's the best thing to do.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
Thank you, Gus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
But there's been some friendly competition over some knives, and like
It is quite funny though, because I don't
yeah.
think anybody really gets the ump about it. But but
No.
there's a lot of jackassery about it. To be fair,
Yeah, and in fact, like Tony was mentioning, one of his little tricks that he used to try to acquire one of Slippy's little sales that he has in Discord have become quite infamous.
Yeah. that was quite funny. Yeah,
And he's preloaded "I want it" into the chat, so you can just click the button. And
But he
he
still lost
he
that,
still
didn't
got
he?
beat out by Lynn, which was fun.
Yeah. Lynn still kicked his ass. Yeah,
So congrats to Mrs. Naked Sean for being all preloaded up and ready to go. She got a hold one. But it's been fun, and it's been great because there's been a lot of knives like that you guys have gotten that I probably otherwise would not have gotten. One of the main ones that I can think of is the Brick Buster. So it's been fantastic, the cooperation of people helping each other out and get stuff. All right, so let's start in with kind of looking at some of our more expensive knives, and then we're going to compare those a little bit and contrast them with some of our more affordable knives, and kind of discuss whether or not there's a drastic difference. Maybe where that little sort of sweet spot is for the price that you can get kind of the most for your money. Like maybe what brands, what specific knives that you would suggest, where you're really sacrificing very little for the cost. All right, so let's start with you, Mikey. Let's show something really expensive that you've got.
I might as well start with a Sheffield made knife. This is a George Walton Home IXL Stockman. There's the pile side. There's the show side.
Little closer. Can you get that a little closer to the camera? There we go.
Show the back springs, Mikey. Oh.
They are worked back springs, and it's milled coined brass liners. The top of the blades are also for about an inch. They're like worked in as well. I think these tend to run somewhere around the £200 mark.
Right. So yeah, for kind of the layman, what are you not going to see on a budget knife that you've got there?
I would say probably. I would guess, depending on where your budget falls, is probably a genuine stag. And then I mean, this is a handmade knife as well. So all those back springs are like hand worked. So it's not so much the steels. This is just I think it's SF100 stainless steel from Sheffield. So it's not the greatest steel, but it's very highly polished. Nicely tang stamped, which I know some budget brands do, but generally not. And also some higher end brands have actually stopped doing like the tang stamping there, and they're using like a laser etch. But the fit and finish and the build quality on this is absolutely phenomenal. And it's just, when you've got it in like hand or you've got it in your pocket, it just feels like you've got something special.
Can we see like the worked area of the blade on the back, the spine?
I fondled it yesterday on the way to the Bakewell shop. It's superb.
Yeah.
Even the action is immaculate. It's like glass, and they're like 6 to 7 pulls on the blades.
Yeah. The spade blades have got probably like an 8 or a 9 pull, but I think that's because the blade's so small.
Also, like for a stockman, I would say that's not something you mentioned, that you're not going to have any of that blade rub on a really, really well designed knife.
No, I can't agree with that, because some of them do have blade rub. The only ones that I've not seen with the blade rub would be a 3-spring buck.
Okay.
I've got some Sheffield Stockmans that have no blade rub, and like this one has got the slightest little bit, just you're probably not going to see it, but it's just on this little bit of blade here. There's just a tiny bit of rub, but if you want a Stockman, it's kind of par for the course, really.
Yeah,
it's the price you pay for buying a Stockman. 2 blades cranked into a channel that only meant to have like 2 blades.
I've had a number of people think that it's cheaply made if you have blade rub, but
no,
I come to tell you that you can spend as much as you would care to spend and still get it. So
yeah, unless you've got something that's got 3 springs, but obviously that makes it a much wider knife, especially if you've got stag as well, because stag tends to be even wider.
But but the
then
3 springs
don't get really big.
The 3-spring design does not guarantee no blade rub either. I've had some with 3 springs and blade rub too. But yeah, that's a great example of some of the things you'll get with a more expensive knife. Okay, let's see something real expensive from Chris.
I don't know about real expensive, but you know what I'm gonna break out first and foremost: the GC Bunny knife.
I knew that was coming, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like a bunny knife?
Yeah, Chris, do you like bunny knives?
Just a little bit. I don't know if I told y'all or not, but I love bunny knives.
No, you've never mentioned it. No.
I never have, really?
No, really.
Okay.
But it is good to know.
Be a little more vocal about it. But yeah, GC Bunny knife. I mean, I don't know what their regular price on them is, like if you could get a drop. but they're, at that point they're not bad. But the secondhand market, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Because I think I've seen some that were over $300 in the secondhand market for that. And
Wow.
That's crazy.
What was the price you knew for like one of those? About 2?
No, it's not. I don't think it's even 2.
Wow. So there's a lot of markup.
Like under 150, I think.
Yeah, I
So
think
there's
it's
a lot of markup
150.
for them.
Like
Yeah.
for some reason, I want to say like 120, 130 maybe. So
Yeah.
that's
Now I got to ask you: are you kind of looking to find maybe even a higher end version of a bunny knife? Like I know you were maybe looking at a particular brand.
possibly
Mm-hmm.
very much.
What
That would be
What would be a
nice.
higher end bunny knife? Who makes an even more pricey one? Because they're quite a basic knife, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, you'd be going into customs. At that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
So
The sky's the limit, really.
Yeah. Now, if
Oh,
you
yeah,
bought
yeah.
one that was a little fancier, would you use that one and then not use that one and maybe sell it, or how would that change your collection?
It depends how much I like the custom one. If I like the custom one more, say like if it's a little bit larger,
Mhm.
there's a chance that I would move that one along.
Okay.
But I don't know.
The bunny knife.
Yeah, the bunny
Sweet.
knife.
All right, Matt. What about you, bro?
Okay, so I'll go with let's go with the jackknife. So I've got for me a GEC 78. This is one of their larger jackknives. This new run at about 150 in the UK. On the secondary, they're a bit more. I managed to get a pretty decent price on it through Congies. I think I got it for 160. But again, as Griff said, it's quite plain. It's not sort of a high, super fancy. There's not going to be any sort of milled liners or anything like Mikey Stockman.
It's still a lovely knife,
Everything,
though.
everything about it just screams class to me and like a really nice high-end knife to use. I love using this thing. I think the blade's fantastic. Got 1095 steel. Is it going to hold the edge for the longest? No, but I think it's a great sort of traditional steel to keep using on a knife. It makes more sense to use these sorts of steels rather than GEC go into something like Magna Cut or something. It wouldn't be the same sort of company if they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't
Yeah.
wouldn't feel right.
Yeah.
You get a nice sort of pen blade on that as well. But the contrast, honestly, between a GEC and I don't know, for example, like a Rough Rider, honestly, there's not a lot in it. It's a bit of fit and finish, maybe some more higher end materials used on a GEC. But when we're talking about fit and finish, I mean, there's nothing in those two. One was 25 and one was 160. There honestly isn't really anything in it for these two particular examples anyway. I know these are you're more likely to get one of these that's perfect every single time than a Rough Rider, but for my example here, both blades are dead down the center, same with the GEC. There's no gapping on either of them. They're both a very similar size, GEC a little bit larger. Blade steel a little bit less on the Rough Rider, it's just a 440A. But again, it's still a decent steel. It's still a using knife. You can still use it. Just need to strop it a little bit more. It's a stainless steel, whereas the GC you're going to get a 1095. But in terms of longevity of the edge,
Long
I would
legacy.
say that I butchered the hell out of that. But the 1095 doesn't last a whole lot longer than the Rough Rider.
Mm.
Right. Yeah, I would also add to that, like your expectations from the GC are going to be massively higher because you spent more.
You're going to be expecting perfection.
Yeah, and you're probably going to be pretty satisfied with it. Now, if you're not, in the case that you're not, that becomes a problem because then you're like a hell of a lot more upset by spending 180 on a knife and then not getting the 180 quality for it. That's
Yeah,
what makes
whereas if you
Rough
buy
Rider
like
so
a
fun, because sometimes you roll the dice with a Rough Rider and you end up with something that could have cost you a lot more to get the same fit and finish. Now that's not
like
always
this
the
example
case.
I've got here, like this one's perfect, but sometimes, as John's saying, you get ones that are gappy, blade wobble.
Mhm.
That's just part of it.
Yeah, but you'll get that knife. Well, it's particularly in the Appaloosa series, which is what you were showing there. Those all seem to be really well done.
Yeah, they're really nice knives, the Appaloosas. But I've had so many good Rough Riders that if I had got a bad one, even at say £30, I would be a little bit upset by it. To be fair, because I mean, I've got a lot of Rough Riders now. I've probably got 30 or 40 of them, and they're all really, really good, all of them. So if I did get a poor one, I think it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, but if you compare that with getting a messed up GEC,
Oh yeah,
which you probably can't replace for the same price if you got it on drop. Yeah, the comparison and disappointment, I think, is what I'm kind of trying to point out.
I'd be beyond disappointed.
Yeah,
I'd be a little angry.
Angry?
But we do know that it does happen, even with the higher end brands.
It does.
Every now and then, there's one or two that sneak through.
What happens when Chris gets angry?
Turns into the Hulk.
Not good.
There's nipples everywhere.
It gets hairier somehow. Turns into a Sasquatch.
Yeah. Like the giant version of Cousin It.
But somehow his nipples are still exposed.
Yeah, they're like
always
sticking out like
like this.
Take your eyes out. Like a set of Mac walnuts.
Also,
Kathleen asked, "Do you buy Rough Riders on the secondary or just new?" I both.
Both.
Mikey buys them secondary for me.
one or 14 this week.
Andrew says, "I'd say my GEC was worth 135, but costs way more." Right? That's typical, right?
Yeah.
When you buying on secondary.
But that's not down to GEC though, is it? That's down to the people that want them.
Dave loves a rough ride. Yeah, I can see that.
And then on the next comment.
Rough ride.
Good Lord, let's not get Chris angry going forward.
I think we should.
I'd love to see a Sasquatch. I could take a picture and be the first to get a clear
Like the
photo.
Incredible Sasquatch Hulk.
Yeah.
You're talking about they're part of the family.
Did you see my Sasquatch photo in the Randy tribute?
No.
Don't recall. It was Cookie Monster's head on it.
Oh,
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Sorry.
All right, Chris is a big softy. I agree. He pretends pretty good, but he's a crier even. Can I tell
I got a reputation of hold.
Okay. I don't want to upset him.
I think you may have stepped over that mark there.
Tony says my best testament to Roughies is I started there, as many of us did, moved on, but I'll still be tempted by the odd one. Yeah. There'll always be a place for a Roughie in my collection, right?
Yeah.
Every now and then, red bone long rifle sow belly. Is there a place in your collection for that?
I'd want one of them.
What'd you say? But the
smooth red long rifle sow belly. Is there a place in your collection for that?
See, now you're going to turn me into the Sasquatch.
One of them.
How long has that been on the website for? What? 14
It's been
months
on
now?
their website since at least, and I could be off in the wrong direction of this, but at least November of 23, and it's still not out. So that's over what? It's 14 months. 14 months. Please release the knife. How does it take that long?
They're trying to build it up, so they're getting a lot of, ooh.
No,
yeah, but what they've done is they've built it up, and now it's been so long, people don't care anymore.
Right. DB Edwards says, I love Rough Riders. I own a dozen. Some are Rough Riders spelled differently. You're correct. They've done both spellings. They like to change the Y and the I.
I mean, it was their 30th year last year, wasn't it? I think 2024.
That's what these were. The 30th anniversary. You got the special tag stamp on there.
Yeah, like the anniversary. So I mean, they've been going a long time, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah. And you want to talk about something a little bit with the Rough Riders, Chris, that we discussed in chat yesterday? Remember how you were saying like a lot of people were turned off early on by the Rough Riders? So
I mean, it was just early on when the quality was low. People just got turned off and went away from them, but never looked at them again because in their minds they're just thinking the quality's not there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though now you look at them, they've come a long ways, and for the price, they're hard to beat.
Right.
And the materials. So
wasn't there a stage when they did some really poor steel or some really basic steel that was really, really sort of like wrapped or didn't hold an edge?
I mean, it was. I don't even know how long ago it was now, but it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
They've really come a long. They've really come a long way, though.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed in the last couple of months, a lot of companies' fit and finish has improved.
Yeah.
Not just the budget.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
There's been a few brands that have really started to do much better, as well they should.
Because with the Rough Riders, I was one of those people that just looked at them and thought, I looked at them back in the day and I was like, oh, these are cheap. They're not that great. And back then they didn't seem to be, but I didn't come back to them until, I got on the Discord and started seeing the ones y'all had. I was like, whoa, they've come a long ways compared to what they were.
They really have.
Yeah. Yeah, you're impressed with that little marbles I sent you, right?
Oh, yeah.
You like that one? Which is pretty much a roughie. I know it's not quite the same.
Yep. I like it a lot.
It's a beast like you.
The beast.
It's like a fifth pocket knife for me.
It's just disappeared in his hand. It's the beast.
It's like a sheath carry. It's like a sheath carry for me.
Let's just call it a tiny terror then. Just a tiny terror.
What's going, Toad? How you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Toad?
All right, you want to do a roll call, Matt? Enough people have been in here now that you can kind of provide.
Let's start from a little bit up. I'm not going all the way to the top. So we have Covered in Bees, James McCann, Gadget Gus, Stuart McRae, Cherick, Naked Sean, Blade in Wales, Watch City, Sean. We got Andrew at Baxter's Blades, Griff, hello Griff, Dave at Midnight Crisis, HD Rider. We have BB Ant, MBEDC. We've got Holden is here, Memphis Fire, Kathleen Smith, Eric Starr. I've just seen this message I've missed.
What was that?
How long ago was that?
Put
it
it
was
up.
Elan and it said nudes sent. So I'll check my phone in a moment. We also have DB Edwards, 1931 Leatherworks. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door, Singing Toad, Norwegian Tinkerer Benny, hello, Rob Tenring. Anyone that I've missed that's been in and out or you commented earlier on, I apologize. Scroll a little bit further up, see if we can see anybody else. We've got Chief Kickerbitch, excellent. Oh, Booger McGee, forgot. That's his new name.
Yeah, he's changed his name again.
Yeah. Who else do we have? Will is in here somewhere, so I'm sure I saw him in earlier on. And anyone who hasn't commented that's in here, thank you very much for joining and watching.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Nigel Loftus.
A message from Elon, Chris.
Yeah, I know. He sent me a nude of Matt or Slippy.
Oh, he sent me like the same picture.
Yeah. He was like, can you show it on the live?
I've got the nudes.
Uh-oh.
Here they are.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh God! Would you?
This show isn't rated for this kind of information, is it? Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Elan. That was fantastic.
Sean's
That's
just found
such-
his chair at home.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Shirk, mate. What?
Checkmate.
Shirk.
No.
I literally feel like I'm hearing this in my head right now. That sound.
Fatality. Cheers, Holden.
Thank you, Elon, for bringing down the chat once again.
Elan, you single-handedly destroyed the show. Thank you.
Unsibbed now. Everybody's got unsibbed.
Unsib.
Unsibbed.
The French
Can you
will.
unsib from Can you unsib from yourself?
Yes, I've done it several times.
Yeah, you keep on coming back.
I know. It's painful.
All right, so let's take a look at some more knives. Let's look at some like extraordinarily great budget knives. Do you have anything that's just like extraordinary that is budget? Like Matt showed the Appaloosa. I think that's a great example. I've got one here also from the Appaloosa series. This is the Intern, because everyone loves an intern. Maybe a little more than they should.
Especially US presidents.
Yes. Bill Clinton, we're talking to you, buddy.
That was the one I was.
Andrew at Baxter's Blade has donated. Every day, mate. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Andrew. Member for 2 months of the Commando Club. Make sure you join up. But yeah, Intern, super great fit and finish on this one. Brass liners. Got the black liners, black outer liners, underliners, whatever you want to call them. Cool blade on that. Kind of a combination Warncliffe spear point. It's kind of like what I like to call it. Got the spade shield on there. Beautiful bone. Just really well made. Great snap. Secondary blade. It's kind of unusual. It's like a little baby Warncliffe. If I could get it out. Just cut my nails. There we go. Baby Warncliffe.
It's
Great
very
little-
like stout, I would say, describe that blade.
Yeah. Great little carving blade. So when you drop the soap in the shower, Slippy, you can still bend over and carve a turtle out of it or something. Before someone
Pass.
carves the turtle out of you.
Pass.
Slippy slap.
Did you guys not get the carve the turtle joke? I thought that was fun.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. Got it.
Fantastic. All right. So show me an example of an excellent budget knife, my Mikey.
I'm going to go with, and there are quite a few to choose from the Sheffield makers, but I'm going with the Taylor's Eyewitness TE 100 Barlow.
Excellent choice.
That to me is a really great knife for the money. Not only because it's a decent knife with good fit and finish, a lovely half stop, a great walk and talk, but they're also handmade, which is nice. Really nice to have. Stamped on both bolsters, stamped on the blade as well. Really slicey, flat grind blade.
Yeah, you're getting a lot for your money right there.
Yeah.
These are right about £38 UK. So yeah, that's a little bit above most Rough Riders, but it is still a really great price if you want a really traditional Barlow.
Could you answer this question from Toad for me, Mikey?
I'm afraid I can't answer that question because I don't know. I have no idea how he got that name.
I'm going to give that one about 85% yes. That's the look I was given.
I thought it had more to do with the actual pen knives. You know, these slip joints, Slippy. But who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I thought too.
Well, you
It's
thought
all right,
wrong.
bud. I've got your back, especially in the shower when you drop that soap.
It's just a
Oh.
convenient coincidence, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Slippy. Where's your
you wanna
budget
see-
banger? Your budget banger.
Budget banger. Okay, this was on Heine Haynes for £25. It's a marbles.
Mhm.
It's a sow belly, and it's in D2 steel.
That is a
Wow.
banger.
Was that £25?
It was,
That is a deal, isn't it?
especially with the D2, massive upgrade on the classic 440. 3 blades, and you get this really nice black micarta. I think it's a nickel silver shield in there. It looks like it. It has marbles D2 steel on it.
Yeah,
Is
they're
that
very
three
proud.
blades? Three
Very
blades
proud of
all
it.
in D2.
Mhm.
That's a lot of D2 for £25.
And the fit and finish is excellent. The snap on all the blades is great. It's about a 7, I would say, on every blade. Maybe a 6 on the smaller ones. Definitely at least a 7 on the main blade. And I mean, look at that.
Now, what do you think on the high end that someone could sell that knife for with all the same features? Let's say it's not a marbles. Let's just say it's whatever brand. But
Let's say
It
it's
was
a
made by,
George Walton
yeah, say it's Georgie Porgy.
what, and they use D2 would be blasphemy.
Well,
Well,
no, let's just say they used like
Well,
a
just pick,
build.
say Boker then. How about Boker? That make more sense.
Okay. It's going to be like a $100 plus knife.
Right.
Easy.
There's some super value in that knife.
Honestly, it's one of the best value, I would say, Stockman's, Sowberry's pocket knives out there. I think it's fantastic. Richter
Right.
Knives has turned up. Hello, Richter. Welcome.
Do you have who has an imp that they can show?
I didn't bring the IMP out, but I have something very close.
Mikey got an imp, right?
I've got a couple of them, so I can grab it, but it might take me sort of 5 seconds or so.
Okay, I'll just show Matt here with this marbles. Okay, tell me more about this knife.
White smooth bone. I think it's pretty sure it's 440 steel, made in China, but the fit and finish is flawless on this as well, all the way around. Really nice smooth bone,
Mhm.
nicely large and pivot, pinned beautifully, great action. Nice blade edge on there, a little bit heavy, but I mean,
Cost
this was 15. What's that?
15 pound. 15 pound.
£15 on Heine Haynes. This was, and what more could you really want if you just want to quit like a cheap work knife?
Mhm.
Perfect for that. And if you want to go even cheaper again, the IMP that Mikey's got there is 10.
$10. Good lord.
Yeah,
Or 10
so you
pounds.
talked about like the biggest budget knife ever, right?
This is a
20.
contender. This
that-
would be a contender. I did pick up the black one at first, but then I thought it seemed more suitable to pick up the yellow one. These are great. These are £10 over here. They're censored. They've got a nice action on them. They're well built. Springs are pretty good on them.
Yeah, and they're like $7 in the States, John.
They have been, at times on Chicago Knife Works under $7. Yeah, like 6 something.
Probably the most won knife on most YouTube channels, I would say.
Yeah, we gave a lot of those away. So, but hey,
You reckon?
they're
Great knives.
they're worth it. You got a budget knife, Chris, that you want to show?
Well, I got 2. One of them you know of already.
Okay.
This might be cheating a little bit, but that's about the best budget knife I've found.
Mora.
Yeah, more 510.
Laura do fantastic knives.
I mean, I think it's like what, 15, 16 bucks brand new, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. They're not much.
No. I mean, it's hard to beat. So,
And is that the carbon steel one as well, right?
yeah, that's the carbon steel one. Nice and thin, takes a killer edge.
It's just
even
it's just a
even
great budget fixed
Yeah.
blade. Like it's if you want to try a fixed blade or you're interested in doing some outdoor, I don't know, bushcraft something, Mora is the go-to, I would say.
yeah, oh yeah. And anybody ask, I would recommend this one first and foremost.
Right.
Because it's still some of the newer Moors are a little bit thicker, and that's why I like this one better because it's thinner and it just cuts. It slices through stuff really well, and it weighs nothing. Like you wouldn't even know you forget you have it.
Yeah, and there's loads of different versions as well. I know they do
Yeah,
a cork version that floats as well.
yeah. So different blade styles, about anything you could want really from a budget fixed blade.
Cool.
So yeah,
Glad you had that in the show. That was a good example.
I just want to give a shout out to Just in Time. That's
Mhm.
their first time at the show, so welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, brilliant.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Got a comment from Mr. MB EDC. Oh, and by the way, he's got a show. This is not a paid advertisement, though it ought to be.
It ought
He's
to be
got a
paid.
show.
Yeah.
This is a live show at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 p.m. UK time over on MB EDC. And he's going to be having on Sean.
An amazing guest. No, he's got an amazing guest tonight.
Sean
And
over there. And
the most amazing, who gets all of his names right for his knives every time.
Oh, I'm sensing sarcasm.
No, I am talking about the consummate professional that is Paddy's Potato Pillars.
no.
That's if he remembers.
That's if he remembers. Yeah, I'm going to have to send him a text message later.
Irish Santa will be on with MB.
Don't knock the beard, TK, because he's got a beard still. I'm just saying.
Well, the whole reason I shaved was because I was beginning to look a bit too much like Paddy.
That's not a bad thing.
Like, well, maybe that isn't such a bad thing. So now it's coming back. The king of innuendo.
Yep. Well, he doesn't even know he's doing it, which what makes it funny. He just says something. I'm like, oh. No.
All right, that'll be $8.76 you owe me, MB. Thank you very much. All right, next. Check out Thrifty Kniffy. What's the Coca-Cola shirt? Mark worked for Pepsi, not Coca-Cola. That's 100% correct. I'm sorry that there's a conflict of interest there, but
Cola Wars, rock and roller Cola Wars.
Yeah, I don't drink either one, so it doesn't really matter. All right, you want to see a budget knife from me? I got another one I think is great. Here is the gun stock with the the Rifleman series.
Yeah,
Rifle series is one of they've got a similar series, haven't they? But yeah,
Sure
it's the Rifleman.
The flint stock, so the old style rifle, and the beautiful tobacco smooth bone on there.
That is nice.
Better look at it on this side. Isn't that beautiful?
That is lovely.
It's got the nice rat tail bolsters. I just refer to them as striped bolsters.
You can put that in the box.
Ringed bolsters.
Chris,
I don't think
Chris's line. Put it in the box.
You can
send it to me.
Put that in the box.
And let's see.
Elan says, "What about an open hell?"
You've got a no hope in hell, Elan. Sorry.
See, the open hell is very inexpensive, but it looks and feels very inexpensive,
and it breaks.
I like the open hell.
Unsibbed.
Yeah.
There's the long
open hell in the trash.
I like that, John. That is really nice. And it's got a rifle.
The long
shield,
rifle is
fantastic.
Really cool.
Yeah, it is.
That screams America.
Yeah, and this is very inexpensive, probably under $20.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
very nice.
There's a look at the back springs. I've seen Case have much worse back springs.
Yep.
Case, get your shit together.
They
Literally,
have been, to be honest,
get it
recently
together.
though. A lot of the knives I've had from Case, even ones I've bought without knowing what the actual knife I'm getting looks like, it's been really good.
Kathleen likes to use an Opinel in the kitchen. They're great for kitchen knives.
Yeah, they are. They're superb.
They'll cut through a tomato fantastically.
Yeah.
Yeah. What Rick asked something about electronic parts, and then Watch City answered for him.
Was that the part that like you showed earlier?
Yeah. I don't know. What was the question?
What's in the drawers behind you?
What's in the drawers behind me?
You know, the ones
here.
above to your right. Yeah.
Yeah, just electronic parts. Would you like to see? It literally takes-
Capacitors and diodes and all kinds of stuff.
everybody is bored out of their mind by the time I get the damn thing out of there. But there you go. Here's a capacitor. Does that provide some detail?
Oh, sorry, fell asleep.
Moving on. Nigel comment was kind of long. Let's look at that one. It says, I have a floating safety knife by Moore. I've never wanted to throw a knife in a river so much as I do that thing. Just for curiosity. Yeah. And for those that don't know, Tony tin sheds his blades and wells because he has 10 sheds.
He actually does.
He may have more there. I mean, we've not been there for like a couple of months.
Yeah, there's eyewitnesses to this, right? You've seen it in person.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He said
Yeah.
he used to have.
We've had
16.
the 10
that?
shed tour, the whole tour.
Apparently, he's taken 6 of them away.
Oh,
So it used to be 10, 6, Tony 16 sheds, but that doesn't sound nearly as good as Tony 10 sheds.
No.
Doesn't have the same ring to it. Yes, it was a capacitor. Richter, yes. Okay, so take your pick. You want to show an expensive knife next, or another budget knife? What do you got? Who's got something they want to show?
What about slap bang in the middle of the park? That's the best of both worlds.
Okay, yeah, like the best for the buck. Best for the buck. I've got one of those.
What would I say?
What have you got, John? What have you got?
I've got a Joker that I think is phenomenal. Olive wood. About
Nice.
32 pound. No, $32. Why the hell am I saying pound?
The olive wood on that is fantastic.
Flat grind on it. If you like a flat grind, you got one here. Slicey, dicey, great for the kitchen as well, right? Those Italians really like to cook.
I
Nice
think I got one of
Carbano
those.
on there. Carbon.
Carbano blade. Yep. Beautiful, like well, it's not a bird eyes pivot, but it's kind of a larger pivot. Brass liners. Just really well made for the price. No half stop, kind of a floppy doppy. But then it locks down pretty good. And you can grab that with did you notice this?
No nail neck.
Q2 Smoky Mountain Knife Works on the Easy Open.
Is that because Rough Rider used up all of the nail nicks and there was none left?
There was none left to use. Just grab and go, right? So there's a nice pick for really nice budget knife. Let's see if we can get the model number off of this for you guys. Go check out Amazon if you want to try to find one of these. This is the N075. Made in Spain. I'm sorry, not in Italy. But they like to cook there too. They like the Mexicano food in Spain.
Do you not think they like the Spanish food in Spain?
They cook Mexicano food in Spain. So, N075 Joker. What do you guys think? No
Great
good?
one.
Good?
No,
Very
really
good.
like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the Jokers. This is it.
What you got there, Mikey?
This is one of the small Jokers that I picked up after one of your shows because you'd had it on the best budget knives for the money, because this again is like £10 over here, and this is, it's not a large knife. You could have it as a fifth pocket or a backup, but it's really well made. Nice wood on it, looks great, nice action, and for the money, much like the IMP22, you can't really go wrong.
That's a bird's eye on that for sure. I can see the difference. It's got brass and then steel, right? Yeah.
It's even got some nice.
Oh, it's got the
Oh,
work
man.
spring. Now that's not Arthur Wright quality, but it looks nice.
It's nice. No, it's probably
Very
done.
good.
It's probably done on a CNC, I would guess, for the price. But looks great. Cam
Nice.
Tang. But yeah.
Nice. So 2 jokers are you? What model number was that one? Do you have any idea?
Which number was this one? What's in the
I'm
box?
gonna go ahead and say no, you don't know. So you got to look. I'll give you time.
It says a number 112.
112.
Oh, there's a 112.
112.
It's a Joker 112, not a Buck 112.
Big difference.
You do a tiger salute since he's in here.
Scary, that is scary. That tiger doesn't sound tired though.
No, he sounds much more
Alive, awake. Yeah.
ready to
Upbeat.
sleep on you.
Yeah.
No hablo inglés, Mikey.
Who said that?
Holden.
I
Question.
knew it was gonna be Holden.
Question from Watch City.
No.
On. He says,
I am not that talented, Sean. That's all done by the chasing is done by Michael Harrison, and then the file work's done by Ashley.
all right. Toad has had 3 Joker knives. A Nomad. I'm guessing these are probably fixed blades, right?
Definitely.
And they make some great fixed blades.
That makes them awesome fixed blades, yeah.
And Canadiense? Is that like a combination of Spain and Canada in one knife? Huh.
Pass.
That's Canadian, this, Ben, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's a weird combination. Do they make Mexican food in Canada?
Oh, God, here we go.
Not very well.
They make it in Spain, apparently.
They do.
Told me that. Somebody told me that.
Are they?
Wonder where they got that influence from.
See, I've been to Spain. I didn't have any
Okay.
Mexican food while I was there.
You've
don't have
been to
burritos in Spain.
Mexican food, but
You can't get a burrito in Spain, huh? You can only get that in non-real Mexican food.
Taco
places.
Bell.
Yeah, it's
Taco Bell,
Tex-Mex.
yeah.
Tex-Mex.
Ugh.
Well done, Chris.
Listen to Chris. Chris, do you have something to say about Taco Bell?
Ah,
Oh. My toilet hates me afterwards.
yes, so does mine. Destruction. Enamel destruction.
Like I see spiders and stuff running for their lives, and then they just flip over and
Oh.
die.
Gassed. Michael Upchurch, welcome to the show. You joined
Right at the right
time.
moment.
Time to join up, Michael. Brand new member coming in when the spiders are dying. Fantastic. All right, so you got a. Who else has something they want to show?
Yeah, I have a nice sort of middle of the range sort of knife.
Mikey, you got something too?
Yeah, I've got one to show, but I'm not. Are these middle of the range? They are flat quality, but I'd say they're quite cheap for the price.
Okay.
I've gone for sort of middle of range price, but excellent quality.
All right, let's see yours first, Matt.
Okay, so shill alert, it's a Rosecraft, but it's the Otter Creek Barlow. You're getting premium sort of build quality with excellent materials, and you're not paying a whole lot for it compared to some other knives that you have to pay to get this sort of quality. So this is 60 to 65 on Heine Haynes, but you're getting D2 steel, really nice rosewood, nice bolster with a bolster etch. It's lined. You're never going to find a gap at all.
Right.
Excellent walk and talk as well. Really snappy. It's the same with anything in that price range. It's hard to get something, with the materials and the quality. So I think this is an excellent choice, especially if you want a Barlow in sort of like a middle of the rung price range. This is definitely the sort of the way to go.
Yeah, I would just reiterate that I agree with it, both everything you just said, but also I think it's like the least that you can spend on a knife and just pretty much be guaranteed to be perfect. Because if you would happen to not get a perfect one, they'll replace it.
Yep.
So the next one you get is almost assuredly going to be perfect because they're going to have looked at that one and then sent you a better knife. And I can't even imagine you get one to begin with because the quality control on those is next level.
Well, they come in from the factory, then Andy and the team hand check them all themselves.
Right. So you're paying for the confidence of knowing you're going to get pretty much a perfect knife.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so Toad has a response. He says, to answer the question, the Joker Canadian, I don't know how to say it.
Canadianese.
What's their take on a Canadian belt knife?
Belt knife, which in my opinion is better built than what Grom makes. Okay. And those don't know that Grom is a Canadian maker, so there you go. Eric asks, how does rose scrap do their wood? Has anyone had any swelling or shrinking? Is it stabilized well? I've not had any issues with it. Not had any issues with it.
Some of mine I've used a lot, some I've not used much and have just sort of sat. But all the ones I have, there's no shrinking on any of them. I think whoever they use to OEM their knives do a fantastic job.
Sending knife back is a hassle. It is.
It's a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
I've had to do it. Angry Tom even says the rose scraps seconds are nice.
I don't think I've ever had to send a knife back,
Yeah.
I think I've been lucky.
I've sent back a Rough Rider. Yeah. Early on.
I know Tony sent back an iBrand because it turned up rusty.
I've sent back probably 3-4 Rough Riders.
I know
But they got the lifetime warranty.
You opened on the live. I remember you got a case from Amazon. You could park a bus.
There was a peanut that I got that was absolutely horrendous.
I sent back an Italian Spyderco that was that the grind on it was absolutely awful.
Did you have to send back anything, Chris?
I'm trying to remember. That's what I was trying to think. I can't remember anything.
Oh, I know you one you're supposed to send back.
Oh yeah, there's the Michael May, and I do have one case I got to send back too. I just haven't done it yet.
What's wrong with the Michael May? He's got.
And when it's close, well, get it right there. I mean, functionally it's fine, but it's just got blade play from side to side when it's closed, and it just stays. It doesn't pop back to the center or anything. So, and I contacted him, and he pretty much said send it back. It's not supposed to be like that.
Okay. And
then the case was a DOT exclusive, and that one just it was terrible. Like it had so much blade play in it. It was like, damn, I could put a penny between that almost, or a dime maybe.
Yeah. So some of the cases have just been god awful. But the thing with cases, like, you really have to argue with them to get it kind of, if it's not like something they consider to be terribly serious, they really give you a hard time, I think.
Well, if I got to, I'll drive up there and tell them how terribly serious it is.
Yeah. We're going to have a little bit of a social experiment when we go to Blade Show. I'm going to talk to you guys more about that, but it's going to involve case. We might provide a little bit of a insight into their sort of mindset for quality control, if you will.
Probably not a bad
Alright.
idea.
Sounds like a bad idea.
So it's probably not a bad idea.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to do something there. Let's see. Mimo, I am in central Ontario, and we got absolutely dumped on. Okay, we're talking about the weather in here. All right, everybody's having a good time. All right. I just ordered some seconds from Roast Grass, and I'm really hoping for them to be good. Stag for 62. Couldn't pass it up. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Yep. I think they'll be pretty good. There's going to be some little small flaw.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty good.
Honestly, the flaws are
minimal.
Pretty minimal. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you get a choice there? Don't you? Can't you pick a mechanical flaw or a
I think they did
There
offer
is,
that on some, but I can't say that they do it
or
for
a
all of them.
cosmetic one? Yeah.
Right. I can't tell you if they let you do that for every one, but yeah, I know they do have that option sometimes. All right, so I'm going to show a high-end buck and just a standard buck. Kind of give you guys a little bit of a taste of some differences there. So this one's limited edition. This one was a Danny special. Now Danny's kind of parted ways from Buck. I think he retired, but he was doing all of their repair work. So like when you would send in for a spa treatment, he was the guy, right? I think they've trained another team of people to do it now, but he was there for a very long time. This one's got the burlap micarta handles, the brass with the satin finish on it. Very limited run. You can see that the fit and quality of that is spectacular. Can't really provide enough. There you go. A little better detail on the burlap. And then you get the carbon blade, the 5160 carbon blade. They don't offer that very often. That's a pretty unique blade material for them to offer. And then also it's in the drop point blade. So pretty unique knife. And it was kind of nice that it was made by Danny before he left. So there won't be anything from Danny anymore, I don't think, unless they just pay tribute to him or something. So there you go. There's a nice high-end buck. And this one was not cheap. I'm going to say that was probably in that very high range of 180 to 220, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not cheap.
Nice,
but if you just want a standard buck, I mean, they're really not bad. This one's just from Walmart. You just go down to your local Walmart and pick one up.
Well,
got the ebony handles, polished brass, built well. You can see this one's been sitting in its leather slip. It's got the wonderful tarnish on there.
It always does that to the brass, doesn't it?
Yeah, the I don't know. It's like Slippy's fingers are inside the black standard slips.
What are you trying to say?
Hydrochloric.
That's fingers.
But as Chris said, you get the 420 on the blade, and a lot of people aren't massive fans of that. It does not have the edge retention that some require. But for light use, you'll be all right. And even just for like 1 day's use of medium use, you'll be all right. But you're going to need to sharpen it. But I got to tell you, that's probably how a lot of people got real good at sharpening, because it's definitely required on this blade. And a lot of people had 110s, so it might be the knife most responsible for teaching people how to sharpen. I've seen a lot of really hack jobs on these blades. I bought a few hack jobs.
Remember that one you bought that you sent back to have refurbished, and it was like a third of the blade missing?
Yeah. But there you go, like $65 for the buck 110 standard.
That's a good price. That is a good price.
It's still a solid knife for $65.
It's a very solid knife, yeah. It is.
It's an absolute unit of a knife. It's built like a tank.
Byron's correcting me here. It says, didn't Danny come back and work design some mid 224? I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not up to date on all that. But yeah, he did.
Hopefully he does, though. If he just comes back now and then and does special releases, that'll be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, be good. I just know he's not there full time, right? So
Nah, it's just going to be like the odd thing here and there, I guess.
but Benny says I don't store mine in the sheath. Well, I probably shouldn't, honestly. But as long as I pull them out and polish them up a little bit, I'm usually pretty good. But looks like I neglected this one longer than I should have. So that will be out. Taking a look at that one after the show. Benny says he keeps having the 110 bind him in the index finger, pulling some Randies there.
I'm not sure what he's doing with that then, Benny.
Benny, be careful.
Come on, Benny.
Benny.
Stabbing. Benny.
Like Forrest Gump saying Jenny, but Benny instead.
Jenny. Benny.
Johnny. Benny.
What about
Yeah,
more knives for value? Yeah, but Paul, you missed it. You want to show the more knife again, Chris?
Yeah.
There you go. We showed one.
510. Can't be beat for the price.
Fantastic value. Fantastic. There you go,
My
Paul.
favorite more.
He's on it.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Mikey, you're up, bud.
Oh, there you go, Mikey.
But my favourite is the Cansbowl.
How much do those run? Do you remember?
At 30, about 32 over here, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Still a good deal.
Still not a lot. Still a
Still a
bargain.
great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get that double bevel there on the blade, little more fancy.
Yeah, it's a like a multi-roll knife, and as Chris said, it's not a really thick blade, so it slices really well, and it's light as anything.
Yep.
Then takes a mean edge as well, razor sharp.
All right. So show us another, like, do you have a couple of knives that kind of compare and contrast, Mikey?
So one I thought that is on par with Rosecraft every time was the Twisted Assisted Lanny's Clip Traditional.
Ooh.
Now this one is the G10, and they also did a carbon fiber. These ones were 40. The carbon fiber were 45. VG10 steel. Really nice action on them. Half stop. Really well centered. They came really, really sharp. Fantastic knife. Really was. And it had the long nail nick on it as well. And I was going to compare that to my Buck Saunter, which is a lot more money, but build quality, I'd say, is pretty much like the same. They're both great knives. This is 154 steel. These over here are 130. So
Benny.
They are a lot of money, but really well centered. Nice pull, nice action. Very, very similar kind of knife and that, but maybe £90 difference, but the quality is negligible. They are both really, really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's a great comparison. Thank you, Mikey.
No problem.
All right. I know you've got something, Matt.
Have I?
Show us what you got.
Show us,
okay.
Matt, show us.
I'm trying to, Mikey.
Okay. Mikey!
I'm going to show it. You should have bought a knife, Mikey.
I did. Yesterday and the day before, because you was with me. I tried to not buy a knife, but you stopped me.
You said twice you weren't going to buy a knife, and both times you bought a knife.
Because you was there telling me to buy a knife.
Correct. So my comparison is going to be more about the sort of the handle material as well as the knife itself, if that makes sense. So I have one of the Queen saw cut bone canoes here.
Oh, yeah. Saw cut Ranger Queens are fantastic.
As far as I'm concerned, this is the best bone on any budget knife ever.
100%.
I think it's
100%.
fantastic. The dye job on it's great. It's even. The saw cut looks phenomenal. The build quality as well is superb. Great action. You've got hollow grind. You've got nice swedge. Got a long pull on there. And comparing that then to a case canoe, this is, they run about the £20 mark, I think, give or take a couple of pounds.
Yeah.
And then the case canoe I have here, again, jigged bone, but these go way up to about 70, 80 pounds. And honestly, in the quality of the knife, the bone is beautiful on both of them. I honestly prefer the blade shape on this queen. I think it's more attractive than the very sort of plain-esque spear point blade you get on the case.
They're both great looking blades, though. Great looking knives.
They are. You get the line bolsters on the queen, whereas on the case it's just flat nickel silver bolsters. But you do get cases superb peach seed jigging.
Which is lovely.
Yeah.
And don't forget the blade edge.
Yep. Which I'm not a huge fan of.
You're not. You don't like the native Indian on there.
It's a canoe on a canoe.
It's etches in general. It doesn't matter what they are. Just not a huge fan.
Well, I'm not
It's
either.
not a
But
terrible
on that
etch.
particular knife, I make an exception because I like my
Okay.
native Indian on there.
You've got that knife
Nice
as well, John,
picture,
haven't you?
yes, but on
Yeah.
the blade, it's not going to last with me, so it's pointless it being on there.
Well, just send it over to me then, Slippy. I will look after it for you.
And he can
All
put
right,
it in the box.
I'm starting a poll, and we're going to find out. Indian, no Indian.
Hang on. We have a returning member of the community that I've not spoken to for a long time. Hello, Stu.
that?
Welcome. How are
It's
you
Stu in
doing?
the chat.
Stu's in the chat. Stu, I have canoes for you.
Retro Stu, there's lots of canoe.
Welcome back, Stu. We're so good.
This is
Glad
my
to see you.
first case canoe, Stu. I know you've got a red one, I think. I got this today. I love it.
I think we got him one as his birthday knife as well.
We did,
canoe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what I will say, contrasting, I don't like the pen blade shape on this because it seems to have a belly and it goes in a bit up here, whereas a more traditional pen blade is straight, then goes down like this. So, yeah, I like them both for different reasons, and I don't like them both for different reasons.
I think it's quite good though that they have slightly different blade shapes, and otherwise all your blades would be the same shape, and that'd be boring.
Yeah.
You get a half stop on the queen as well, and it's cam tang. Bus is going nuts, but you get cam tang on the case. Honestly, for the build quality of these two, it's so close. The case marginally better. There's a tiniest of gaps on the queen.
I do love those queens though. They are, for the price, that they are exceptional because of those saw cut handles.
Yeah, but you're just paying for the quality, and it's a lot of the time, especially now these budget brands have really upped their quality. You're just paying for the name a lot of the time.
But that does mean quite a lot to quite a lot of people as well.
Yeah, myself included. I love having the case name on a knife. I've wanted a case canoe for a long time, waiting for one to come up that I would spend the money on. Mainly for the fact that I was concerned about the quality control issue. So I wanted to wait till there was one on the secondary that I could see exactly the one I was getting, which is what I did with this one. What I will say though,
the queen has half hops stops as well.
it does, yeah. The queen is actually more comfortable in the hand because the case is quite blocky. It's quite squared off. Whereas the queen is sort of nicely rounded.
Right.
But both superb knives, both complete opposite ends of the price scale. Whereas you got cases about 60 to 80 pounds in the UK, whereas the the queen is 20-ish. So that's a big jump, but for what you're getting for the money, not that much in it, to be honest.
All right, so our polls results to this point. Would you like to hear?
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Yeah.
I asked whether they should have the Indian etch, and 59% agree with me. 41 say no.
It's rigged.
Okay. Fake news?
Fake news.
Fake news. The Queen warning is nice too.
The Queen warning is very nice.
The Queen one is my favourite in that range. Yeah.
That whole series is pretty nice. Small problem with the peanut. Otherwise, it's a pretty damn.
I think the stock one was my favourite in that series. Mine was flawless. It was superb.
Have they fixed the problem with the peanut now? Because the peanut's the only one that I do not have.
The peanut has blade wrap.
It's fake news now because she's
Is it French?
She didn't know what she was voting.
Sorry, Elan.
No, but Le Peanut. There, that's what it is. Le Peanut.
Yeah, Indian etch on the canoe is what that poll was all about. Sorry if you guys missed that. I probably should have been a little more specific, but I was trying to be fast.
And vague.
No etch.
Do you have something you wanted to say, Chris?
Well, I mean, no etch. Because
Is that
the etch is ugly.
Are you going to return that picture to Andrew behind you?
That's my tiger. Nobody touches my tiger.
No one's allowed to have a tiger on their.
That's my tiger.
There's only one tiger.
There's only
I've had
one
that tiger for like 20 years. It's my tiger. Anybody touches my tiger, we have a problem.
Let's ask the tiger what he thinks about that. You want to interpret that for us, Slippy? You know tiger language.
Yeah, it says, "How have we got this low? Why are we not showing enough knives?"
Show a knife.
About a picture in the background. Show a knife, Mikey.
Show a knife.
Chris, what do you got there?
Show a knife.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Chris?
That's my
That's a
Shatton
Morgan every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every day, Chris. Every day.
Pin shield.
That bone looks nicely pocket worn as well.
The shield, it's a sterling silver pin shield on that.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's a high-end feature you're not going to see on budget knives.
And then you compare it to, the marbles. It's thinner, and just the overall feel of the Shatton Morgan is, it feels a little bit higher end than the marbles, of course.
Yeah.
But the price difference, that's a pretty big price difference between the two, where this is a lot of knife for your money compared to this, in my opinion. So I've given Marble some credit on that one.
Okay.
But I'm still not giving up my Shatton Morgan.
Okay. No one's asking you to. We're just asking you to give up the picture.
No, I'm not giving up the picture either. That's my tiger.
Okay.
That's my tiger. Well, I've got the Arthur Wright made for Twisted Assisted Barlow. This is a very nice knife for not a lot of money, really. I think you can still pick these up.
There's something wrong with your blade, Mikey.
Yeah, you can actually see it, can't you? You can actually see the steel. But these are still available, and there's some more coming as well, because I've actually seen the blades in the boxes. But I'm going to show the George Walton Stag as well, and which is a lovely knife. Really, it's a really nice knife. It's got the long pole, amazing stag.
Well, you've got that out. That's reminding me of something that we should discuss briefly. You spoke with Edgerton. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing that. The Egerton Group.
No, we never. No such conversations ever took place, and nor do I have any knowledge of such conversations if they had have taken place.
About
if I come back, I'll reenact it with Mikey.
Okay.
Mikey, if you be the guy from Egerton.
Okay.
I heard they were bringing back the tang stamp, the bolster stamps on both sides instead of the singular etch. Is that correct?
I'm afraid I can't answer that question.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry that you can't answer the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, continue, please.
Yeah, so they're both Sheffield-made Barlows. They're both fantastic. Both got a good walk and talk on them as well. This one is around the £50 mark. This one is around the £135 mark.
Okay.
This is very much just a working Arthur Wright Barlow, but with the Mike Carter USA made Mike Carter handles. and this is obviously some nice stag.
Does it please you like it does me that there's a Brit USA combination to that knife?
It does. It does. I'm so glad that it is a USA made my Carter, as opposed to being made in another continent somewhere, maybe, possibly.
But that twisted assisted Barlow, it is phenomenal. Like if you want a nice working Barlow, one that you can use, and so your blade turns out like this.
Even just the Arthur Wright standard Barlow, which is only what, £10 cheaper. It's
It's like 30. It's pretty sure they were like 30 something in 35, 36.
In the
Not a lot of money. Yeah.
I picked up one yesterday the day before in Rosewood. There's ebony available, olive wood,
whiskey barrel oak as well.
Yeah, which I also picked up as well. Yeah, all for like, not a lot of money really.
Pennies, basically.
Yeah,
very much. All right, well, we need to wrap it up. We've almost gone 2 hours now, about a minute shy. But again, if you haven't already entered the raffle, that's absolutely just something that will benefit Joy, the mother of Randy.
Yeah.
And there's some fantastic prize there to urge you to do so. We've raised quite a bit of money so far. Matt, do you have a new total for us that you can provide?
I can give you a rough total. So I know I did the math the other day when I was with Mikey and Sean. It's gone up a little bit since then, but it was about $3,850 is what we got so far, roughly.
For Joy. And that's amazing. I want to say thank you to everybody who's either bought coins, been in on the crowdfunder, or bought raffle tickets. It really means a lot to us on the Discord and that as well.
Last day to enter, I'll type that in chat, but it's January 19th. It's going to be about 11 o'clock Central Time, AM, because once we come on, we have to have that spreadsheet locked in order to do the giveaway. So make sure you get all your entries in by 11 Central Time, January 19th.
Yeah, and for the UK guys, if you want to enter, it'll be 5 p.m. on the 19th.
I better get some entries in then.
Right. Holden has very kindly put the fundraiser up, and we've got the Randy. It's all for Randy.
It's all because we love Randy. Randy was awesome, and we really miss him.
Yeah,
he was
there's obviously there's no amount of money that's gonna even bring back or anything, but even we can do something small to help take a bit of burden off Joy's shoulders, just giving her a bit of money back so she can pay at least some of the medical bills, or she can pay some of the funeral costs, or whatever they've decided to do.
It's just our way of them saying thank you to Randy for being such a good friend to us all.
Yeah. That's very Randy-esque.
There's another you can win in the raffle, provided by Sean.
John, this is something I would like to say to you, but I need to be on the screen to do it.
Okay. What's going on? I hope you.
I knew it was coming.
Do you know how often I hope you shit your pants?
Each time we eat Taco Bell.
Every effing day. Okay.
These are the Randy coins. Logo one side, and this side has the poo pants side, and the other one is.
No, I was more than happy to pay my £5 to receive these 2 Randy coins. They're absolutely fabulous. But in the packet was this shield. What the hell was that? I didn't order that. Where did that come from? What? I mean, I didn't ask for this.
Never trust a man who gives you a wooden nickel. Never.
Put it in the bin then if you don't like it.
It's going with it. Opinals. It's gone.
No, just set it on fire.
Yeah.
All right. So any parting words, Chris? Anything you want to say to the community before we take off?
Not really.
You don't want to thank us for having you on today?
No.
Okay. Mike, what about you, brother?
I'd like to say, first of all, that T-shirt that Slippy's got on is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
That's an
nice.
awesome t-shirt. Thank you
Have a
for
look.
having me on as well. Thanks for Chris for being here. And yeah, great. Awesome
Had
show.
fun. Had a lot of
Thank
fun.
you. Your turn, buddy. Parting words.
Not I hope you shit your pet up.
There we
Well,
go.
I did have nachos for my birthday dinner last night, and so
We wasn't going to tell anybody that, John, because we know that that there's probably a finger up there holding
it's
it all
not,
in.
it's about as predictable as the weather, but we'll give it about a 25% chance.
Yeah.
I do have something serious to say though.
Yes.
Mikey has pretty much summed it up perfectly. Thanking everyone for the fundraiser. I have spoken to Joy off and on every a few days just to see how they're getting on, things like that, just to give our sort of respects. But she is very, very grateful to every single person that's donated. Doesn't matter how much it is, even just down to a very sort of thoughtful message on the live show we had. She was watching, she loved it. All the videos people have done, Joy has seen them, and she's just very thankful that we were all part of Randy's lives, because she really felt it really helped him as a person, and she's just very grateful. So thank you, every single person. Doesn't matter what you've done. Just wish a couple of dollars. If you've gone way over the top and put in a couple of $100, I know a couple of you have done. So thank you very, very much.
Andrew says, I'd like to thank all of you for doing this show. Andrew, can you be on next week with Cherrick? Can I have you come on? Or are you going to be busy?
Unleash the tiger. Come on.
The tiger. We're going to have the tiger back.
For the raffle week.
Yeah.
Unleash the tiger. Come on.
Yeah, unleash the tiger. We'll see.
No, there's only one tiger, Chris, and it's not your tiger.
It is my tiger.
I know that's your tiger, but that's not the tiger. There's only one tiger.
That's the tiger.
To be fair, Chris has had that picture since he was about 5-6 years old?
No, not quite that long.
9-10 years old?
I was a teenager when I got it.
All right, I tried to help you out, Chris, and you blew it. Your chance was blown.
Yeah, so there is only one tiger, and it's not Chris's.
Fake tiger. Fake news. Fake tiger.
I mean, by the age of 13, you had some sticky fingers, I'm sure. So
nobody can.
Baxter is our tiger.
You can't argue with the absolute unit. I win. Checkmate.
I will do it. I will do it.
I can just do this. Look. There we go. Love that.
That's a mate. I love technology when it works.
Yeah, great, isn't it?
Matt, I know where you live. Your mom
Chris?
told
all right,
me.
guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Love you guys. Thank you guys for coming in.
Baxter says yes for next week.
Next week, Baxter's Blades
The real tiger.
and Derek, Blue Collars Knives. Maybe Mikey. Maybe if he decides he wants to come on.
I'll come on. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to see the porn stash.
Okay, we're done.
We'll bring it up.
Bye.
See you guys next week. Take care.